The Nephilim are secretive creatures or individuals referenced in the Hebrew Bible. They are enormous and strong. The word Nephilim is inexactly interpreted as giants in certain Bibles, however, left untranslated in others. Some customary Jewish clarifications decipher them as fallen blessed messengers. The Brown Driver Briggs Lexicon, 1908, gives the importance of Nephilim as monsters and holds the proposed historical backgrounds of the word are all exceptionally unstable. Many recommended translations depend on the suspicion that the word is a subsidiary of Hebrew verbal root fall. Robert Baker Girdlestone contended in 1871 the word comes from the Hilfa, causative stem, suggesting that the Nephim are to be seen as those that cause others to tumble down. Ronald Hendel states that it is a latent structure, ones who have fallen. Most of the old scriptural adaptations, including the Septuagint, Theodotian, Latin Vulgate, Samaritan Targum, Targum Onkelos, and Targum Neophiti, decipher the word to signify Goliaths, so much as deciphers it as the rough ones, and Aquila's interpretation has been deciphered to mean either the fallen ones or the ones falling upon the enemies. The Nephilim were in the earth back then, and furthermore from that point onward, when the children of God came in unto the little girls of men, and they bore youngsters to them, the equivalent were the strong men that were of old, the men of fame. Given the uncertainty of the Genesis section, there are a few translations about the connection between the children of God and the Nephilim. Some have perceived the children of God to be fallen blessed messengers, and the Nephilim are the posterity they created with human ladies. This view was portrayed in the first book of Enoch, a non-canonical Jewish content, and stays a well-known clarification. The first book of Enoch additionally noticed that the Nephilim were Goliaths, which appear to be, as per the individuals of extraordinary size, portrayed in the Numbers entry. The obvious giantism of the Nephilim is contended to originate from their heavenly inception. However, some have countered that it is religiously tricky to recommend that holy messengers or evil presences as absolutely profound creatures could genuinely duplicate with people. A less otherworldly view holds that the Nephilim were just men who fell away from honorableness. In particular, a few scholars that held the children of God is a reference to the relatives of Seth, the honorable child of Adam, and the Nephilim were individuals from his bloodline who dismissed God. This view, known as the Sethian Sea, was held by St. Augustine and other church fathers, just as by numerous Jewish scholars. The Sethian Sea is now and again explained with the statement that the girls of men were the wicked ladies of the bloodline of Cain, Adam's lethal child. With the Nephilim as simple people, their extraordinary size is differently taken in a real sense or allegorically. However, they were without a doubt thought about incredible fighters. This inclination thusly originates from the way that one of the most punctual interpretations of the Hebrew Bible, the Septuagint, created in the 3rd or 2nd century BCE, renders the said word as gigantes. The decision made by the Greek interpreters has been later embraced into the Latin interpretation, the Vulti, gathered in the 4th or 5th century CE, which utilizes the record of the Greek expression instead of the strict interpretation of the Hebrew Nephilim. From that point, the custom of the Goliath descendants of the children of God and the children of men spread to the later Middle Age interpretations of the Bible. The choice of the Greek interpreters to deliver the Hebrew Nephilim as Greek gigantes is a different issue. The Hebrew Nephilim relies in a real sense the fallen ones, and the exacting interpretation into Greek would be peptocults, which indeed shows up in the Septuagint of Ezekiel. It appears to be then that the creators of the Septuagint wished not exclusively to just make an interpretation of the unfamiliar term into Greek, yet additionally to utilize a term which would be clear and significant for the Hellenistic crowds. The records of the Old World unearthed from the Near East towards the western shores of antiquated South American are loaded up with dark reference to a race of Goliaths. Indeed, even most scriptural researchers are ignorant of the more than 80 references to monsters found in the books of the Old Testament, similarly as students of history have neglected the several references to immense individuals referenced by old chronographers. The best shared factor in the pages of the world's most seasoned epic writings concern Goliaths. Tremendous humanoid skeletons have been uncovered before and today. Gigantic weapons and massive design reasonable simply by the presence of noteworthy Goliaths. This race in Genesis is known as the Nephilm, and this dazzling examination dives further into the secrets of the Goliaths than some other known work regarding the matter. The name and thought of Nephilm, in the same way as other strict ideas, is once in a while utilized in mainstream society. Many authors wrote various kinds of books taking the idea of Nephilim. Poems were also penned down, and in other ways Nephilim was used as the main plot in films and short movies.